Hello,
Okay.
hello, hello, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Kicking It with KeKe, Life, Love, and all that other shit. I am your host, KeKe Chanel, award-winning author, lifestyle blogger, and certified mindset and personal growth coach. Y'all know the overall theme for Kicking It with KeKe is all about mindset and personal development. I believe that when you operate as your highest self, you go through life more abundantly. So that being said, I have a special guest today, and I love what she has going on. But for those of you who know, y'all know I like to give my guests the opportunity to tell you who she is and what they do and things like that. So I'm gonna turn it over to my guest. Hey girl, hey.
Hey, KeKe.
Thank you for coming to kick it with me today. I appreciate you stopping by the podcast today.
Thank you for having me. I'm really appreciative of this opportunity and just I love what you're doing. So it was in total alignment. I was like, let's do it.
Listen, right. It just fell into place and I love what you're doing. So with that being said, tell the people who you are and what you do.
Hey everyone. So I am Tangia Seward. You can call me Tangi, okay? Because my friends call me Tangi. And I am the owner of Black Girl Hug. Black Girl Hug is an apparel brand. As you can see, me and KeKe have on some of our shirts. So KeKe has on the sweatshirt, I have on a
Amen.
t-shirt, offer both at
Mhm.
blackgirlhug.com. I also am technically a business consultant. And I have a Facebook group for Black women entrepreneurs called Black Girl Business Accelerator. So check us out. I offer free business advice. Everything in there is free. There's like 25 webinars with stuff that people charge a lot of money for, okay, information. So yeah, we have that. And then 15% of, I do have some philanthropy. So 15% of all of my sales go towards women who offer mental health services. And that's in conventional and unconventional ways. So of course, we have our therapists, but what about our community organizers? Yeah.
Mm.
What about our unsung heroes like our hairstylists, our crossing guards, local chefs, daycare operators and owners, like people like that who do a lot for us and they don't necessarily get that back. So that's what we do. Yep.
I love that. I love all the things. I love it, Tangy. Before we get into this, though, I always have to ask the question because the overall theme for Kicking It with KeKe is all about mindset and personal development, right? So, that being said, I always ask the question, what does mindset and personal development mean to you?
Mm, mindset and personal development, I would say, which is actually what I tell people that I do for myself, is working on yourself aggressively. You know, always looking for ways not to shift your mindset, but to empower it. Like taking those limits off, learning and actively implementing what you learn. So, yeah.
Ooh, I love that taking the limits off. That's a bar, like for real. Taking the limits off. Yes. So okay, so we about to talk about Black Girl Hug. Like, how did that all come about? Because I love the movement, I love the apparel, I love the message behind it. And I went to the website and I didn't check things out, but I want you to tell the people who are listening the overall like how did it all get birthed?
Man, just like anything else, it's been a journey. It's just been a journey. I would say it all started with my mom. Like she's the beginning of it all. And just the kindness, the community, the sense of community that she gave me. Like I have aunties from all different nationalities and backgrounds. I have just been exposed to so much. I'm originally from Brooklyn. And so that's like the melting pot. It's just
Yeah.
all kinds of people. So it started there. But what really made me want to turn this into a business and then the philanthropy part and the self-care and stuff like that, it was a loss that I experienced. My niece, she passed away when she was 24 and we're 1 year apart. So I was 25 and I had to bury my niece and who was like a sister. And she had some mental health struggles. And so Black Girl Hug, I want to explain what that means because people are like, what is Black Girl Hug? Okay.
Yeah.
So Black Girl Hug is not always in the literal sense. It's not always a physical embrace. Sometimes it's just a moment like this with us connecting. Think about when you go to the hair salon, you know, the environment, the way that you feel when you're connecting with another Black woman. Nobody understands us like us, you know?
Right.
So it's really just that simple. Like, that's a Black girl hug to me, you know? If you see another Black woman on the street, she like, okay, sweatshirt, okay, hair. Like, that is a Black girl hug. She
Yes,
didn't
I see you, girl.
she didn't have to know you. She didn't, but guess what? That filled your cup up in that moment. And you knew that she can really appreciate it because she has the same hair as you. You know, that message speaks to her. Like, she understands. And so I wanted to find a way to transcend. Also, I used to be a hairstylist. So comes from
Okay.
that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wanted to find a way to transcend what some people call the Tangia effect, which stems from my mom. That energy and everything without having to necessarily be in the same room with me, or my mom, my niece, somebody who needs that. They need to see, they need to hear that, you know, finding joy in the journey. They need a reminder to inhale confidence and exhale doubt,
No
you know,
doubt.
stuff like that. And it just kind of grew from there. Like, I put some stuff out there, some shirt designs. I created a few social media accounts, and it resonated with a lot of people, like hundreds, and then it grew into thousands. And I was like, what the?
Yeah.
I literally thought it was like this corny little thing that was just in my mind. Of course I had big dreams for it, but I was like, I don't know. And so it just kind of grew from there, and here we are.
It's amazing and I love it. I love the concept behind it because my grandmothers gave like the best hugs to me. And I no longer have them. So I always say purple hugs that like on my videos and when I used to, blog and stuff like that, that was my closing remark because for the color purple for me, it's like royalty and it's like no other. And so I just added that with the hugs because my favorite color is purple. And then I always draw from the way that they made me feel with the hugs. And, I had a loss too in 2020. We lost our 19-year-old daughter to a car accident. She was my bonus baby, but that was hard. It was right at the beginning of COVID. So we had to bury her, and only 10 people were allowed there. And she was like the epitome of a Black girl hug. She made everybody that she came in contact with feel like they could fly.
Mm.
So thank you for helping me like have her memory live on through your platform because it's needed. We don't have enough Black women loving on each other like we should.
That just made me
Yeah.
emotional. Lord.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, I didn't know about that part, but I thank you for sharing that with me. Um, because I don't share about Ryan a lot of people. So shout out to Ryan. It's just like just when I'm missing her the most, something always happens that say like I'm good, and this is one of those moments for me, so I can smile through it, knowing that she's good, she's in a better place, and I know that she will be proud of you because that is who she was. She was that Black girl hug for so many people. So thank you for allowing your mom's vision or the way that her kindness just like radiated throughout the community and the people in the lives that she touched as well as your own to help you inspire. And I try to find joy in everything that I do. So when I saw this design on the website, I was like, oh, that's a no-brainer. I gotta get this one. I gotta get this one. And then my other favorite color is green. So yeah. But I'll be
Yes,
back. I'm gonna buy some more for sure. That brown look real good on you, by the way.
you know.
Yes. So I was reading your bio and something stood out to me. So I want you to tell me a little bit about this particular phrase that's in there. Fueled by a desire to combat isolation and address social injustice. Elaborate on that a little bit.
So that's honestly a part of the birth of Black Girl Hug that I don't know. I think I subconsciously leave that out because that was kind of a dark time for me. So
Mm.
um, the isolation part comes in with um, the pandemic. And just think about how, I mean, we were all isolated. So before that happened, I was pregnant. I had just PCSed to a new state, didn't know anybody. So I'm about to have a baby. My husband is gone. He's in some school. I can't even tell him how bad it is. Like there's nothing in the grocery stores. He's safe. He's on a
Mm-hmm.
base somewhere. He can't get to a phone really. So he doesn't really know how bad things are. So I'm dealing with this, essentially alone because I don't have my partner, right? And I felt very isolated. The things that we normally do, we couldn't do. Then we had the George Floyd stuff going on. And then it just was always something. And it
Something.
felt
Mm-hmm.
constantly under attack, but we still have to provide for our children. We still have to be a mother, a sister, a friend. And it was hard. And so it made me dig even deeper into what I wanted to see in the world and just being the change that I wanted to see. It kind of forced me to do that, where I was kind of waiting for somebody else to do it or just being like, it's enough. We got
Mm-hmm.
enough of this, enough of that. And it's like, no, we don't.
Right.
We
Right.
don't. There can always be more love for us. There could always be more hugs and embracing and positivity and stuff. So that's where it comes from, that feeling isolated. And honestly, I'll say before that, I didn't really feel connected to because we have classes, we have being Black is nuanced just like any other culture. I'm gonna be honest, this is an experience as a Black woman with classism, colorism. And so I was a hairstylist.
Mm-hmm.
I owned the salon. I had employees.
Mm-hmm.
I'm what you call a boss, right? And so my clients are lawyers, doctors, surgeons. They're just elite.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this group, it's called the Jack and Jill. Have you ever heard of it? The Jack and
Mm-hmm.
Jill Club or something. So it essentially is, they do, what do you call those things? Cotillion? No, is it cotillions? Where the
Mm-hmm.
girls
Like
dress up?
they
Yes,
introduced you to the
introducing them to
society.
society. They do
Got
stuff
it.
like that.
Okay.
And so I asked one day, because I'm like, all of y'all are in this thing. Nobody's ever invited me. I have children. They love my children, right? That's what they say. I do their children's hair. I take care of the whole family, the mom, the aunties, the sisters. I mean, the whole families are coming to me. I never had to look for clients.
Mm-hmm.
Never invited me. And when I asked about it, they were like, oh, we have to see if we have available spots. And then I found out one of my clients is the president of this specific chapter in my area. And it just never happened. I was never invited. And you can't tell me that y'all never had openings. That's just doesn't make any sense, because you want that money and y'all want more people to be involved. And I was a positive staple in the community. And so I always felt isolated in that way. And it's not okay. So I call stuff out like that now. I was quiet for a long time because I didn't want to lose my community that I had built, even though
Right.
they thought they were above me. It was what I was comfortable with. It was what I knew I was safe there. And so now I don't care about none of
Right.
that.
Absolutely not.
And I'm like, no, y'all don't get to treat me like that. And I want them to be aware. I want us as a community to be aware of stuff like that and how it does affect how we affect each other,
Right.
you
I mean,
know?
it happens every day. It happens
Every
every
day.
day. And I'm glad that you talk about that, because I got something in my spirit that said he was allowing them to isolate you so you could tap into the part of your purpose. Like you had to build your own table, and then you get to invite whoever you want to sit at your table.
Yeah.
And thank you for having me a part of the table.
Yes.
I'm a part of the table, girl. I'm excited about it.
Welcome,
Yes.
welcome. Yes, all of
Yes.
I mean, I've hosted just many things. Like when that Clubhouse thing came out, I remember I had a room and I was like, let's have a Black girl hug. And I had a woman come in, and she is what do you call it? She's in the LGBT community, but I don't know what she identifies as. I know
Mm-hmm.
she's a she, but I don't know like what spectrum
What?
of that. And so I want to respect that. But
Right.
she came in and she was like, but we also need to show love to each other, even if we're not attracted to that person, even if we don't necessarily understand their sexuality.
Mm-hmm.
We're like the only community that just will not protect each other and show love, and no matter what. Not saying,
Mhm.
they're like an evil person or doing something wild, crazy, but just a normal person. If you don't deem them attractive, think about it. We all have our prejudgments. And how you act that out, how you carry that out in your life, in your everyday life, it's not okay. And she challenged me. So I'm always trying to talk to people like that. And then I
Right.
bring it back to what I do. So yeah.
And we
Yeah.
have to be able to listen, to
Yeah.
understand and comprehend and hear what the other person is saying, not be so quick to respond or judge or belittle and all of the things. Because in the Black culture, we everything is what happens in this house stays in this house. We don't talk about them, or you not going over there because that person does this and this and this and that, and not get to the bottom of why did they do like that, or why did they feel like that, or why don't you want me to go back there where Uncle Tommy is, and all of the things, instead of condoning those things. So, like you said, a Black girl hug can be just a listening ear. It could be, uh, hey, how you doing today?
Mm-hmm.
Offering them a smile, because you don't know where people have come from, where they're going, what they've overcome, any
Yeah.
of that. I love that you say that, because we have no room to judge anybody. We really don't. And we just have to do the best that we can. And I thank you for being the person that God put this vision inside, because somebody else probably would have slept on it, been too afraid to step out there and say, yeah, I know this corny, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yep.
But it's really not. It's really not corny. It is needed. It is amazing. I see so many blessings coming for this, and I cannot wait to say, well, you know what? She's gonna kick them KeKe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the importance of having a sister circle, like a positive, that power of sisterhood. Well, let's speak about that, because we don't have it very often. And the ones that we do, it's like they stick their nose down or toot their nose on people that don't have the type of car that they drive, or live in the same type of neighborhood and things like that. And we just need to break that cycle. So let's talk about the importance of having that strong sisterhood or sister circle.
Yeah. Um, Honestly, just recently, maybe in the past 2 years, I just started to experience what it is to have a real sister circle. And I mean outside of my family, because my mom, my sisters, my nieces, like they're amazing. They are amazing. But I've never really had friends. I never knew what it was like to let my children, somebody pick my child up from school, or I was that person who did it for people, but I didn't trust
Mm,
it. So now I have those friends, and what I realize is that it doesn't have to be that hard. It
yeah.
doesn't have to be that hard. It shouldn't drain you. It shouldn't be anything where you have to wear a mask, and watch how you are. You should be able to be loud and fun and life of the party. You should also be able to be quiet. And I'm drained right now. And your friend understand that and respect that. It's really just a respect for you and handling you with care, the same way
Mm,
you would handle them with care. The same way
right.
you did with your spouse almost, you know? It's
Yeah.
it's really the same thing, because for women, like I tell my husband this, I'll tell anybody this, I'm a woman first. Not
Yeah.
just a Black woman, but I'm a woman first. The stuff that we have to deal with physically, with our bodies, mentally, emotionally, how we present ourselves to the world. It's only certain things that we can understand. And when we have a great sister circle, it unlocked so many things inside of me. Like, I encourage you guys, go to my website, go to my social media. I don't delete stuff. So go back to the beginning and see how I got to where I am now. A
Hmm.
lot of that is because of my sister circle, because they empower me. They fan my flames. They don't let me dim my light. They like, girl, put that, don't make excuses. Put that ticket, make it a first class ticket. You deserve it. What is it,
Right.
extra $100? You think you're not gonna get $100 back? Or I'm
And
like,
that's
yeah, but I don't know. They like, do it. You need to try. Just at least try it. What you need, girl? What you need? Let's do it. And they mean that shit. They
yeah.
mean it. You
It's
and your husband,
amazing when you have
like,
people
ask
that
your
mean it.
kids, like. Yeah, so I never had it. I know now I can be like, girl, I can't relate. I don't have those problems, and I have my things. I'm not a perfect human, like I'm not at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I have my moments, they check me with that too. And I'm like, okay, that's my real friend, because she might talk about me behind my back, but whatever she say behind my back, she gonna say to me. I know it for a fact.
Absolutely. Yeah, and see, and that's the thing. A lot of people, I'm I have a strong support system, and I have a circle. I've had friends since I was in like fifth grade, and we're still rocking. Yeah, we've had our ups and downs and things like that. I love my sisters as well. Sometimes we don't talk as often as I would like, but it's like when I have stuff that I'm going through and dealing with, I go ghost. And because I have to make sure that I'm taking care of me, because I've been clinically depressed before, and I had to crawl my way out of that, and I'm never going back to that place. Some people don't understand that, and they keep tabs on who talked to who last and who reached out last and all that, and I don't have that. I don't worry about that. If I love you, I love you. As long as you good, we good. If you need me, I'm there. So I had to realize that sometimes people just ain't gonna understand, but you have to be what's best for yourself. And if that's like not talking to anybody, the people that's gonna understand, and the people that don't, it's okay. You don't have to understand. But I did it for me. I couldn't pour into you at that moment. I had to pour into myself. Because some people just be having cracked cups, and you just pouring into them, and they ain't never getting full because they want to have these cracks. That's like you leaking
Mm-hmm.
out all of the stuff and holding on to this negative stuff. And if you're around somebody that's always negative, what is wrong? Let's
Mm-hmm.
have a conversation about it. You're not
Yeah.
able to like say, okay, but nothing. This is what it's gonna be. Like your friends will tell you, buy that first class ticket, don't worry about you gonna get it back.
Mm-hmm.
You have to
Yep.
be open to that. And you have to have that open, that abundant mindset and not a
Yes.
scarcity mindset.
Yes.
Because God didn't put us here to live in lack.
Yes.
And if you don't like something about your life, you have everything within inside you to change that. And it's
Yes.
one step at a time. Yeah, you might not like that job right now, but keep that job until you can find something else.
Mm-hmm.
Don't quit it before you get to something else, because it's hard out here. It's hard out
Mm-hmm.
here. Trust me, it's hard out here.
Yes.
I love that having that power of sisterhood. We need that. It needs to be talked about a little bit more, because we have had people that thought they were a part of a sisterhood and got burned
Mm,
really bad.
yeah. I
But we can't stay in
I
that place.
I would like to speak to that, because I think what you said is important as far as like people having cracked cups. You know, Sometimes we get into we think is a sisterhood or a friendship, whatever, and over time it starts to turn into something else. And it was
Mhm.
probably that the whole time, but we didn't want to realize it because we were safe there. We understood it. Like, yeah, okay, Keisha be doing X, Y, Z, but that's just her.
Mhm.
No, no, girl, you can go abundance mindset. You can go and find you another her in a minute. Like, you
Mhm.
don't have to deal with that. You don't have to she doesn't get to treat you like that. And when it comes to the crack cups, you got to realize some people are committed to misunderstanding you. They committed to that.
Mhm.
So you said yes to them 100 times, but that one time you say no, they
That's all
forget.
they heard.
That's all they heard.
Mhm.
I don't tolerate that no more. But it took me to be exposed to certain types of people to realize that that was even a possibility. Stuff that I've been experiencing with my friends, I had no idea. Like, even asking a friend to go to my house to pick up a package while I'm away. My husband had one coming at one time. I had one coming at another time. She said, "Oh, I'll just come back." You will?
They exist.
Because I'm like, girl, you could wait until the other one come. I'll just keep checking my Ring camera, make sure ain't nobody steal it, right? She's like, oh no, I'll do 2 trips. People like that exist in the world. I didn't know. I had no
Mhm.
idea. So
Mhm.
we got to give grace to those people too who are sticking with those friendships, because they don't. Sometimes you just don't know,
Yeah.
and you got to know your work. And sometimes you don't know that. You don't know.
Yeah. It's a everyday struggle, because that subconscious mind holds on to stuff that we thought that we done let go. And then when you at your highest, here it is.
Yep. Like,
Here
hey,
it is. And I'm
girl.
like, dang, where did that come from? Because I know it happens to me, but I've learned to shake it off. And I know that I'm a woman of faith and I know what that God has me on this purpose and this journey for a reason. I had to realize recently that not everybody is meant to come because I realized that somebody did something that I just don't agree with. And I put it out there, but that person never came forward. So I had to make a hard decision because I consider this person one of my closest friends. But it's not worth me losing everything that I'm building just because you decided to take the easy way out.
Yes.
And you got as your boss, you got to be able to make these hard decisions.
Yeah.
I don't love you any less, but it's business, nothing personal.
Yeah.
So collaboration over competition.
Yes.
Yes. I love these two C's with all my heart. And I do understand that, yeah, you can collaborate with some people, but some people just don't know how to get along.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about that to a listener that feels like that they're in a place where they are doing everything that they are supposed to do to collaborate instead of compete with their sister, but they still get burned. What can you speak to that person so that they can continue to do what God has told them and called them to do?
Mm. So it's funny you said that because I actually just released two limited edition shirts that say that it says collaboration over competition. And so you can't see right now, but on the backs of our shirts, we have
Yeah.
as well. So
Float on for us.
yes. So on the back of that pink shirt, collaboration over competition, it has my 3 key points to make sure that you don't run into situations like that. You're not pouring and you're not getting, your cup is not getting filled. So those 3 key points are alignment. That's the first one. You want to make sure that it's in alignment with what, not just what you're doing right now, but your end game, where you want to go. When you look back 5 years from now, are you going to be like, whoo, child, I shouldn't have did that?
Yeah.
We all have to learn. So we're all going to make mistakes, but make sure it's in alignment.
Mhm.
The second thing is you want to be intentional about how you're moving with that person. So if you know somebody has, um, they're the only person in their business, right? You can't expect that person to do all the things in their business and do all the things in your business and help you chase new endeavors. And you get what I'm saying? So be intentional. Take note of the whole situation. You got to be honest with yourself. I know we want to help people. I know God gave us a vision and we're like, this person will be so good. They have potential. They have potential. They ain't there yet. They not here with you yet. So you gotta be intentional with how you moving with certain people. It's okay to use certain people or to work with certain people, but you gotta meet them or you gotta work with them with where they're ready, not where
Yes.
you want them to
Want
be.
the
Okay.
mm-hmm.
The third thing, and I'm gonna do a bonus one because this one is super important. The third thing is reciprocity.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be a reciprocal relationship. I use this word like every day, especially in my mind, because I gotta be like, TG, is there reciprocity involved? And for those who don't know or understand what that word really means, it means that you're getting something out of this and I'm getting something out of this. And the scale is balanced or a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
depending on what y'all are doing and what the roles are. And it doesn't have to always be monetarily. We don't understand the power of building relationships, y'all, because this social media will have you fooled and thinking that everybody got to put money in, da, 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 and that's the only way that they committed. That's not the truth.
Right.
That's not true. Some people, their value is in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So it needs to be a reciprocal relationship. And that's how now anything that I get into, even doing this podcast, like being on here with you, KeKe, is a reciprocal thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's an alignment and
Mm-hmm.
it's so intentional.
Absolutely.
Like I can't even tell you, it's so intentional. Like
And
I'm
and
not
here's
just
the
on
funny thing
here.
about it though. This we met through my sister, who is
Mm-hmm.
not on any social media.
No, nope.
So There we go. Right there.
Yep. Yep.
People can support and introduce you to people and you don't have to pay for anything. You will know. I mean, trust your instinct, trust your gut, trust that feeling of knowing because you can be bamboozled out here. People make
Yes.
stuff look good. They make stuff sound good because they got that gift of gab.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And not to cut you off, but I just wanted to throw that out there. We met by somebody who is not on social media at all.
At all. At
Mhm.
all. And she is the best. Like, oh my God. So the bonus thing I was gonna say, a bonus tip is you have to, and my mentor, she actually taught me about this. You have to beware of brand bonding.
Mm.
So you got to be careful. If you know that you're running a Fortune 500 company, we see this happen all the time with celebrities and whatever, and they fumble the bag, okay? You lose endorsements because you over here messing with old girl that's going to get you caught up in a case, right?
Exactly.
That is brand bonding because they have personal brands that are attached to bags.
Yep.
So you have to be careful with brand bonding. You got to make sure it's okay to do a little homework on people because if you truly care about what you're doing and you have something to lose, not just your family, your kids, and how it affects them, but how it affects you, right?
Right.
And what you're
Mhm.
building, you got to be careful with that. So you can't be mad at your homegirl because she went and caught a case and now your name is attached to that. And now people think that you move in a certain way because you attached to that. You can't
Absolutely.
be mad at her because you knew she was moving like that. You knew that
Yeah.
before. Yeah, I started this thing. So that brand bonding, that's a way to, those are 4 ways to protect your heart and to protect your business, and protect that vision God gave you, girl. Because let me tell you, I ain't playing
Ooh.
about that. Because he put me on a mission and I got stuff to do and I ain't got time for that right
I ain't
there.
got time for it. For real. I tell people in a minute, I don't have time for it. And my cutoff game is so strong because I have discernment that is so strong. I didn't always have it. Or maybe I had it and I just didn't pay attention because I always want to help somebody come up. Okay, I can't use you in this way, but let's see if you're ready to do it this way. Or
Mhm.
like you said, that potential. I see the potential in people. Now
Yep.
realizing that I'm believing more in them that they believe in themselves.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
can't want it more for you than you want it for yourself. It'll never work because I'm drained and you in denial, thinking that, oh, I can just come up because of KeKe coming up.
Yeah.
No, you have to put in the work. God will give you gifts, but you got to make room for them gifts by tapping into them and doing the work. If he tell you to write a story, you got to make sure that you understanding the whole writing process. You got to get an editor. Don't be cheap and have your friend do it. Trust me, I know. I done been there and done that. I'm
Yeah.
15 books in, and I know that you get what you pay for. And if it's an investment into yourself and in your brand, it's gonna cost something.
Mm-hmm.
Time, money, effort. It's gonna cost you something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I love that, and that's my next purchase. By the way, that's my next purchase. The collaboration over competition. I was like, y'all, make sure y'all go to the website blackgirlhug.com. I love what you're doing. Keep doing it. But I want to talk a little bit about embracing your voice. Yeah, I get all the emails that you send and I read them.
I love that. No, can I tell you, I really appreciate that because a lot goes into those messages. I don't post everything on social media. I
Hmm.
love to speak directly to my community. So I'm always just trying to pour into them. Like maybe you didn't get to read it today, maybe read it in a few days or whatever. And I just try to speak to you deeply because everything ain't for social media or everything ain't for when we talking. I might be like, okay, I need to address these things. And
Hmm.
I appreciate that to know that somebody's reading.
I'm reading, girl. I'm a reader. I'm a writer, but I'm a reader first. I thank God for my aunt Janet. She taught me how to read when I was 3, and she would let us go to the library and pick out our own books. So we were able to pick out things that interest us. She didn't force reading certain things on us. So I'm a lover of words, and so I'm gonna always sign up to that website newsletter or whatever because I want to know what's going on. That was like one of the first things I did. Let me join, let me subscribe. And
Yeah.
I get them on both emails, so I don't have an excuse. If I miss it on one, you best believe I seen it on the other. Yes. So let's talk to the business owner. Let's talk to the business owner because I know you're a business consultant too. And y'all make sure y'all go and check out her Facebook group. I'm gonna have all her information in the show notes so you can be a part of the community because she is giving away valuable information. And y'all, guess what? It's free 99
Yeah, free. Yep.
for now. Let's just put it out there. For now. It's gonna all change, trust me. Cause her
Yep.
schedule's about to be full. Like she got a lot going on with her personal life, but this business side, it's about
Yep.
to be overload. Like I see it.
Yes. Thank you. Again, I receive.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So embracing your voice, the importance of that, because it's funny that you did one on this particular topic because I'm writing a 3-part memoir, and the second part is finding my voice.
Hmm.
That's the name. The first one was my journey to self love, and this second one that I'm putting out is finding my voice because I allow people to say hurtful stuff to me all the time and just didn't say anything. So when I
Hmm.
did start saying stuff, I became this evil, heartless bitch. That's what I was called
Hmm.
because I was like, people they didn't care about hurting my feelings, so why should I care? And I lost some good people. I tarnished my reputation, and I had to rebuild. So I'll
Hmm.
never do that again. So some of the things that you say, you have to be mindful of that because words stick with people. People always say it's about actions, but I hold on to words.
Yeah. Yeah.
So embracing your voice. What can Tangia say about that?
Oh man. So everything goes back to, because I'm just a big advocate for Black women and just our community and the struggles that we have faced and still face and will continue to face for a while. And so finding my voice stems from um, just getting permission from other women in my life. Like me, coming up, if I was to be around you and me seeing you, tarnish certain relationships, but you are speaking up for yourself, somebody like me, I'm like, burn
Mhm.
that shit down. Do
Yeah.
it. Because I can see it happening. You talked about discernment. And so, I mean, I can see it. I can see the evolution when people start doing that. And even if it's somebody close to me, this has happened before where they changed up on me. And I was like, well, dang, you used to allow me to do this, or you used to be okay with that. And then they're like, nope. And it hurt my feelings.
Hmm.
And I didn't know what to do with that. But because I love her and she is me, essentially,
Hmm.
again, we're women first, Black women, we moms, we got a lot in common. But that one thing, she just changed it. She was like, no, I got boundaries now. I was like, you know what?
Yep.
So with finding my voice, one, I want to speak to the person who's looking for that. And then I want to speak to the person who may not know that they're helping. Your story is attached to somebody else's, your success story is attached to somebody else's success story. And that's with your business, that's with your personal life, how you walk, girl, how you talk, how you may style your hair now. Maybe you was relaxed before and now you natural, you're embracing it. Or maybe you was natural and now you was like, I want to relax her because that's what I want to do.
Hmm.
I want nobody asking me about it. That is empowerment. When another woman sees that, you just gave her permission to do the same, to move
Hmm.
on. Okay. And then for the person who's like looking for your voice, I would say you got to do some things. You got to try some stuff, try it on your spouse, try it on your friends, see how they react. Because you may be in a safe space to evolve, or those people are just there for that time that you spent with them. They're
Hmm.
not supposed to go with you as you grow and you find that voice and you start speaking up and you start living authentically, right? Because we got one life is super short. I just told you my niece passed away at 24. I've had several deaths in my family that I've experienced. My husband went to Iraq, Kuwait, what's the other one? Afghanistan. Girl, he done been everywhere. And who knows? I'm like, he might come home, he might not. He could go here in Georgia and be gone the next day, you
Mhm.
know? You just never know. And so when you start thinking like that, you like, I gotta start living authentically. Tomorrow is not promised.
Definitely not. And one of the things I learned about losing Ryan is stuff that used to piss me off. I don't care nothing about that now.
Don't
Like
care.
if it don't matter in 10 minutes, I'm not giving it any energy. And
Mhm.
a lot of people might think that I'm being heartless or I'm just negative. No, it's not serving me in a positive way. So I have to shake it off. If I keep that, it's keeping me from doing something that's positive or saying some words to somebody that's going to uplift them or encourage them. So
Yes.
we have to know that some of the stuff that we are taking on, we can release that. Stop
Mhm.
blaming everything on God, people, because God don't allow everything to happen. Sometimes we put ourselves in situations where we know we done heard the voice of God or that intuition kick in or something, I heard a voice say, a lot of people say that, I heard something say,
Yeah.
but, and we do it anyway. And then when we get in a situation, we blame God or we blame somebody else.
Yeah.
So when you go on a healing journey, it's hard, but it ends up being a beautiful thing. And I'm living proof that I had to go through that journey. And when I realized that I had a friend of mine on social media, and I started doing like live interviews during COVID to, just because I had talked about doing the podcast and Kicking It with KeKe started as a blog. And I was like, okay, well, you can't talk and just you talking about it, but now you have time to do it because everybody inside ain't nobody going nowhere. We can't go nowhere.
Right.
So I started
That was
to
a wild
doing
time.
lives on Monday night and it just exploded. And I met some amazing people. I learned so much about myself. And one day after Ryan passed, this lady said, "Can I tell you something without you being offended?" And I was like, "It all depends on how you come at me because it's how you say stuff is how I'm gonna handle it or how I'm gonna reflect, respond." And she said, "This is in love." And God just dropped it in my spirit and said, "You won't begin to heal until you let go of everybody else's pain."
Mm.
That blew me away because you're trying to be strong for your kids, you're trying to be strong for your husband, you're trying to be strong for Ryan's mom, you're trying to be strong for everybody, not realizing that you lost her too. No, I
Yeah.
didn't physically birth her into this world, but you lost her too.
I had the same experience. Oh my God, that's
Wow.
insane. I had the same experience.
Wow. And so when she told me that, I had a break. I was very vulnerable with the people that was watching, and I didn't care. Usually I would be like, "Dang, I can't let nobody see me cry to be strong or whatever." It was a release that I didn't know I needed, and
Mm.
I was embraced with love. So
Wow.
that was like a pivotal moment in my healing journey, and that's why I say it's hard because you have to be open to hearing things that you don't want to hear or feeling all of these emotions and stuff that you didn't know that was inside of you or you know seeing people for who they really are. Stop
Mm.
blaming your parents for not giving you what they couldn't give you because they didn't have it to give or they was in survival mode. I need to
Yeah.
make sure that y'all eat, get clothing, have a roof over your head. So I can't hug you every day, I can't say I love you every day, I
Yeah.
can't take you shopping every day. Look, we grew up thought that we had it like that, not realizing that my parents were struggling. I just really had an in-depth conversation with my mom like a couple months ago, realized like, dang, this woman really, she had to have a ram in the bush on numerous occasions because I love my daddy, but he just wasn't a good steward over money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I had to, those are some of the things that I had to realize like, dang, so this is why that happened. Dang, I understand that now. So I say all that to say for anybody that's on that healing journey, it's gonna be hard, it's long. You don't have to walk it alone, but it is necessary so that you can come out as a better person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I had a similar experience. Like when my niece passed away, my sister and my mom, they had this just insane idea to go up and watch the what do you call them? The EMTs like put my
Mm,
niece in a body bag and
mm,
why would y'all go up there? I don't know. But they went up there, they saw that my mom usually is an early riser. She was in bed till 1 p.m., 2 p.m. Of course, my sister, it was her child, so she's distraught. And then my other niece, she's taking care of her mom. So I had to view the body. I had to make sure they got her right. And I had to take some of the family, like her dad, who was estranged. It was so many things that I had to take on that I was just like, I was drinking. Like, I don't drink. I'm not a
Mm-hmm.
real adult. I don't really drink. I don't drink coffee. I don't
Mm-hmm.
do none of that stuff. I'm just regular all
Mm-hmm.
the time. So, I mean, it was intense for me. And then I felt like I was carrying everybody. So the day of the funeral, I finally cried. And my husband was in Qatar.
Mm-hmm.
I had a miscarriage.
Mm-hmm.
The day she passed, I had picked up everybody's kids from school. And so I couldn't really fall apart.
Right.
Got the call, dropped to my knees. I'm like, oh my God. And I just remember like I couldn't really cry. And then I had to call the family. I'm the one
Mm.
calling everybody and telling them, and them
Telling.
crying and screaming. And I'm 25, crying and screaming. And no, no, y'all got the wrong person. Hanging up, calling, you got the dramatic family members.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was
Yeah.
like, that was me. So by the time everything got put into place at the funeral, they're like, well, who called Aunt Sherry? Who called this person? Who called cousin it? I did. Cause y'all wasn't gonna do it.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna
But
do
I
it. Yeah.
but I do want to say I took all of that on, but I didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
And that's something that I realize now. I think that's important to say to somebody. We think that people are requiring us to do certain things, but really we're showing them who we think they want us to be.
Yep.
And the problem comes in with when you start speaking your real voice or using your real voice and showing the real you, they are confused because you showed them a representative.
Yep.
You always there for me. And then the one time you're not there, they like, and you saying I can't do it today. They're like, why? Huh? Why? You're
Mm-hmm.
a superwoman. So I want you to release that idea that these things are required of you because they may not be. And if they
Right.
are, honey, let them go. You need rest, girl.
And it's okay. It is okay to say no. It is okay to say I can't do it at this time. I
Mhm.
don't have the energy. I need to focus on me. I don't have a problem saying no. I used to, but now I can't do it. Sundays is like my day of rest. I talk on the phone 4 days a week, 10 hours a day. When I get off, I'm not trying to talk to nobody. Leave me alone.
Yeah,
Sundays, I just want to kick back, relax, watch Netflix or whatever I'm doing. Don't ask me to go nowhere. I might every now and then, but
yeah.
don't ask because it's probably gonna be a hard no. I'm good. Like,
It's a no. No is a complete sentence.
yes, it
I think
is.
your sister got that. She got that shirt. One of my shirts says heavy on the boundaries. And
Yeah.
on the it says no is a complete sentence. And literally my oldest daughter is 12. And so that to me is the most important message for a tween, soon to be teenager. Though you got to have boundaries, and I want her to
Mhm.
start using that now because I didn't have that. I didn't know I was allowed to say no. I didn't know I was allowed to, you know not be of service all of the time or be on all of I didn't know that. I didn't know it was an
Mhm.
option. Nobody again was requiring me to do these
Yeah.
things. Nobody said, Tangie, you got to do this. You got to be the person. But nobody stopped me either.
Right.
So I always remind her, and my brand is not just for women, it's for young girls too. I do a lot of work with young girls.
Mhm.
And so it's to let them know the mistakes that I've made, the mindset that I had, and I want to empower them to move differently.
Yeah.
Don't start that crap now because it's hard to unlearn stuff. You
It really is.
can't unlearn it. You just change, shifting your mindset, but it's so much work every day, all day. So I just had to throw that in there. No,
Yeah.
that was a complete sentence for me now, for sure.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
No,
So
why? Because I said so. Mm-mm.
I mean, because I said no.
Yeah, Just know.
And keep asking, and you might not like the next thing that I say.
Yes. Yes.
Right. So, what is next for Black Girl Hug? I know you got a lot of meetups coming up. Yeah. So, what's next that you could say?
Yes. That's funny you asked me that. So we do have some things in the works. It's funny because I haven't officially launched my business. Like I haven't officially been like, hey, I like having a marketing. I have a marketing plan, but I haven't put any of that into action yet. I just kind of put my site out there. But this shows having a great community support system, girl group, business and personal. And so we've been doing numbers just by word of mouth.
Mm.
And so anyway, I am going to be hosting some meetups. So we'll be having some events where you get to experience to me what a Black girl hug is. And the best way it's been described from other people, other women, is it's like a mini retreat.
Yeah.
So we're definitely doing some self-care. We're doing some sound bath, healing, breath work, different exercises. It's going to be different stuff every time because there's so many things that I've picked up along the way.
Yeah.
And so my mom used to take me to retreats when I was younger. And
Nice.
I mean young, like I'm talking maybe 5, maybe 7, 8. Like I shouldn't even really remember, but I remember going and I remember how I could feel her energy shift. I didn't really understand what it was, but I could feel her
Hmm.
energy shift when she got there and when we left. When she was there, when she's talking to her friends and they catching up and they, the kids is playing and it's just like,
Hmm.
I want to do that. And I want to do it in a way that all you got to do is show up, honey. I don't need you to help me do nothing. I want you to just come in. And me too. I just want to host. So I have
Yeah.
facilities. I have other women involved, but even they can experience it because of the way that I have it organized and set up. You see
Hmm.
what I'm saying? It's not
Hmm.
like a vendor thing where everybody
Right.
in it. I'm just collecting money. No. So I have my official launch party coming up. This is a private event, but I will have a videographer there. So he's going to capture the essence of everything, and then I'll put that out there. And then the other thing is, so I told you I was on the phone with my attorney earlier. So I'm working on something. It's live on my site right now. And what I created is something called the Black Girl Hug Fund. And so this is just an official name for what I told you that we do earlier, which is taking 15% of our sales. That's
Hmm.
including the events. That's including my speaking engagements. That's including t-shirt sales. All of that, 15% of those sales are going to go towards grants, scholarships, even just a gift card I might give to someone because I'm like, you're not going to take the money. You need a gift card, so you go to Target and you get what you need just for you. And you're not
Hmm.
allowed to spend this on nobody else.
I love it.
Get a gift card for a massage. You're not allowed to spend that on nobody but yourself.
Right.
So that's what that money is going towards. So you can learn more at blackgirlhug.com. It's up. The event fund, this is something me and my 12-year-old daughter will be doing together. So she's really excited. I'm like, you're going to help me pick. So you can nominate women. They don't always have to attend these events. I am going to be honoring them at my next event, late April. So whoever wins the nomination for that, they're going to get something really special.
I
So I'm
love
like,
that.
I go to a lot of galas and I do a lot of stuff with like nonprofits and stuff, but I'm like,
Hmm.
what's missing? Like what?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
I love it. I love it. I love that. Man, we have so much in common because I'm getting ready to release my second issue of the magazine in April, and I'm honoring 19 women in that issue. And I just want people to know about these women. These women that's like blazing the trails, and they like some of the best kept secrets. I met them all through social media. Some I've met personally, some I have not. And it's like, y'all, the world needs to know about y'all because y'all are amazing. So I
Yeah.
cannot wait till that issue drops. It's coming out April the 19th. So y'all make sure that
Oh,
y'all go to 19-magazine.com and prepare to see some amazing women in the episode. I mean, in that issue, I keep saying episode, but in that issue, um, I love that the way that your brain working, like for real. Cause you're thinking it ain't even a box. Like I don't have to think outside the box because ain't no box.
Mm,
I'm just making sure that I'm honoring people who needs to be honored and then pouring back into people that needs to be poured into because it's hard as hell out here for women. For
yeah.
men too, but we looking out for women. It's Black girl hug. We'll give
Yeah.
the men some hugs too, but this is for the girls.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. I want women to have, I just want them to have their moment. Like you have this moment because honestly, a lot of us, we're not going to get that.
Yeah.
And then getting it from our people, not just at work where they're recognizing you for, taking care of the plantation, good for them and helping them run the organization. Like we not just that, me just being me and being seen. And so I
Yeah.
want us to be seen and heard and loved on in a real way, not no affirmations. I mean, those are all over my shirts.
Yeah.
But even with that, I wanted to make them really comfortable, like really comfy, really soft. I wanted to have like sensory, stuff going on so you can
Hmm.
touch on the letters. Like it's just again, how do I transcend me into everything that I
Every.
do and inject that in without
Hmm.
me even having to be a part of it. Even if my daughter decides like she's like, I want to keep this going, she can even do it. I don't necessarily have to be there.
Right.
Yeah, or
You
even
just paving the way.
you might want to be like, I want to do it in Louisiana,
Oh
I want
yeah.
to do a host of Black Girl Hug. Like, girl, let's do it. Let me know. So
Yes, definitely for sure.
yeah. So that's what we have coming. Yeah.
I love
You
it.
heard it
I love
first.
it.
You heard
Yeah.
it first.
Oh,
I haven't even
exclusive. Okay,
announced it.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. So thank you for sharing that with us. We do appreciate you coming to kick it with us today. So I love to ask this question before we get off to all of my guests, and it's called on a personal note. What would your now self tell your younger self? How about the importance of having that Black girl hug?
Mm. I would definitely tell her to slow down, pay attention. It's not that serious. I would tell her to, I would tell her that how she feels matters
Yeah.
and what she needs matters too. Um, because even now I'm learning to respect my feelings and not be like, okay, well, it doesn't matter, it's not that serious, or she didn't mean it, or he didn't. It's like, no, how you feel matters. And clearly I learned that somewhere. And I would tell her that because I think a lot of things would be different
Yeah.
if I had known that what I felt, it mattered too.
I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah.
I love that. Oh, wait. We have to know that what we feel matters. We do have to know that. And if I would have been able to tell my younger self that, I probably would be like so far ahead of the game right now. But I realize that God's timing is right on time. So I can't complain about that. But are there any other words of encouragement, empowerment, anything that you would like to say to the listeners today before we get off?
Oh, for sure. This quote right here. I mean, you've been seeing it the whole time. Oh, it's in reverse. Yeah. This quote right here, definitely find joy in the journey. Try to focus on things that you can control. Don't always focus on the things that you can't control. Try to focus on the things that are good about the situation, not just what's negative, especially when you go into new situations. Think about where you are now versus where you used to be, you know.
Hmm.
How powerful is that when you start finding joy and you intentionally find joy in the journey? You're not just going in like, oh God, I don't know, anxious and
Yeah,
depressed, stressed all the time. I still get anxiety.
me too.
I'm like, ooh, I don't know, y'all. I don't know what this will be. Never did this before. But then I remember, like, hey, I know what I'm doing. I trust
Hmm.
myself. It's gonna be
Hmm.
good and it's gonna work out the way it's supposed to because like you said, God's timing is on time, always. So it's
Always.
gonna work out the way it's supposed to, whether I freak out about it or not. So
Absolutely.
that's it. I'm gonna leave y'all with that because I could talk all.
And that's a great message to leave us with. With that being said, you guys have been listening to another episode of Kicking It with KeKe, Life, Love, and all that other shit. I have been joined today with the founder, creator, and operator of Black Girl Hub, Miss Tangie. Thank you for coming through today.
Thank
I
you.
am back every Thursday with a new episode at 12 o'clock Central Standard Time, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you tell a friend, go to the YouTube channel and subscribe. We're on all major podcast streaming platforms, and we just got on Audible, so you can listen to it if you have an Audible account. So go and check us out on there as well. Uh, until next time, just sometimes you gotta hug on yourself. Sometimes you gotta encourage yourself, but know that you are not alone. God didn't put us here to be alone. There are women out there for you. Don't be so closed-minded to let them in. Just because you had hurt before, that does not mean that though everybody else is out to hurt you. So be open to new friends. Stop saying no new friends because sometimes you can miss out on the friends that's supposed to be in your life a lifetime. So thank you for tuning in and purple hug.